Starting. What's that cake song? Fingers pumping, going the distance.
Oh yeah.
That was on your mix, wasn't it?
No, that was not on my mix. My mix was much more. It was very eclectic. Mine had like Kill and
everybody was pretty eclectic though. It was good. I liked them all. I listen to them all the time, actually. Hey, is that Sky?
Yes, that is.
So here we are doing another AMA because we're bored on a Tuesday night and we could talk about some Blood Bowl shit.
Blood Bowl.
Pretty much, yes.
So we're doing an impromptu session. We're just going to throw it out there. Call it 6.5.
Very nice. I like your initiative there.
Yeah, well, what can I say?
So yeah, two hot off the presses items from Tampa. 2. It looks like a new league being formed in Tampa at a new store, which is good. I do like the store that we're playing at. I do like Grand Arena. But another league is always good too. Many as possible, I think, great. 2, I also got word that it looks like another member of the Tampa crew is going to Chaos Cup.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That should be fun.
It looks like Magnus might be going. The Wunder kid.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good that he's going to be going. So.
Well, he contacted me and said that he was looking at like flights. He wanted to see if he could get the same flight with me. I'm like, I already booked it, but I literally don't know what it is. Like, I erased the email that had flight information, so I don't know how I'm going to find it. When it gets so that's what's shaking in Tampa.
So Tampa's getting a league. That's awesome.
Another league, theoretically.
Another league. How many leagues are in Tampa right now?
Just one right now. One at Grand Arena. It's pretty small, and I will say not the best for new players because it's got a heavy investment comparatively to other leagues.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Grand Arena charges you $15 every time you come in the door.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's okay.
If you're playing in a league at Grand Arena, you play probably about twice a month. You're paying $30 a month to play Blood Bowl.
I see what you mean. Is that the place? Club.
Yeah, it's not a game store; it's a game club. That's so the big.
They don't sell product there.
Yeah, they don't sell anything. You get like really nice place to play at. The owner plays in the league too, but he is very well organized, and he does everything for us. When I come in the door, my team is ready, my sheet's ready, everything's good to go. So there's a lot of accoutrement that comes with it. Very good. But if you're trying to convince someone to play Blood Bowl, and you're like, by the way, you need to buy the box set, and you need to buy a team, and then you need to pay roughly $30 a month to continue playing. It's hard to bring new people in on that. It's only people that are really dedicated to Blood Bowl that will do that.
See, is that the place that Ken was telling me about, which it's got all these amenities inside and like the snacks and gaming rooms? Yeah.
That would be it. It's really, yep, everything's included basically. Like you go in. I ran my tournament there. Like I said, the owner's he's an old Blood Bowl player. He's a very cool Blood Bowl player. So he's very good, and I like it. And I do, and other people have said like we need to have another tournament there before a year, because basically anyone who bought a membership, because it also is a membership,
right?
It's $5 a year, but then you end up having to pay every time you go too. But they were saying, like, if we have another tournament, it'll be cheaper. And I was like, yep, we probably need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that there's, like, if you want to do the whole year, it's, like, a much larger price. But instead of 15, it's 5. And
yeah, there's different memberships, but the base membership is $5. And then basically it's 15 or 25, depending on how long you are there in the day. And for the most part, he just charges 15 for the Blood Bowl players. Like, coming in to play Blood.
aren't like all the snacks and stuff, like if you've paid, the snacks are like complimentary or something?
Yeah, they've got I won't say it's a full kitchen because it doesn't have like a stove, but they've got 2 refrigerators stocked with tons of stuff, like
Yeah.
all the soda you could want. They have a whole couple shelves just full of all sorts of food. There's microwave pizzas, there's corn dogs, there's like some
Yeah.
food you can legitimately eat there. Maybe not the healthiest, but you can legitimately.
That to me is not a bad thing. I mean, I don't know if I couldn't do $30 to play Blood Bowl a month, but the yearly membership and walking in and being like, yeah, it's just $5, and then having that year membership for other games, like if I wanted to walk in and play some Kill Team, or if I wanted to walk in and play some 40K, or even some Age of Sigmar, that I would go for. It's just like a thing where it's not just for Blood Bowl, but it's for everything. Like it's for your gaming atmosphere.
They provide. They also provide a lot of games. They have hundreds of board games that you don't even have to bring. They've got terrain and stuff. They've got tables that are big enough to play 40K and everything. They've got a computer room set up that has like this really cool computer game, like where it's like 6 different stations and everyone's playing a different thing on a starship. Like you're the engineer and you're the gunner and you're the you do adventures. They got a movie room that's got lounge chairs in it, like movie style loungers. They've got a kids room, so if your kids show up, they can stay in there.
Oh, that's huge.
And they also have they have multiple rooms that have multiple private rooms. So if like you're running a role playing game, you can go into a private room. It's got a nice conference table with a bunch of roll chairs. Yeah. It's got some of them have projector screens in them that you can hook up to, and some of them have whiteboards. And then they have multiple rooms that have video games set up too, where you could play PlayStation or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's a neat place. It's a neat idea. So it's good. I'm glad they're doing it, and I will continue to play Blood Bowl there too. But if there's another league in town, I'll play in that one also.
Well, who's the commish for the one you're talking about? Is that you?
No, that's the owner of the store.
Oh, okay.
So, and it looks like the owner of Armada, which is the other place this is going to be. That's going to be where the new one is.
I think it's going to be him and Old Man Monkey, actually.
Yeah, I think both of them. Yeah, he asked me today. He's like, "Would you give us some recommendations on like what rules to use and to not use since we haven't run a league in a while?" I'm like, I would just keep it as simple as possible. Just use the CRP. Don't bring in any of those stadiums things in or anything. If you're trying to get new people, just keep it as simple as possible in the beginning. If we want to put other stuff in later, we can do that later. But get a couple seasons under your belt for people so that way they can do it.
So you're not a fan of the sponsorships in the stadiums?
I'm not saying I'm not a fan of them. I'm just saying I think in the beginning because this will be a new league and there'll be a lot of new players. My whole thing is don't bring in everything all at once. Like don't put the whole everything in the kitchen sink in. I'm not saying that I don't think that those are cool. I think there's a place for them and I think they work. I just think that in the beginning, if you're trying to get new people, they're already going to be confused enough with just how to play the game, let alone all the other bookkeeping.
Trying to explain to them why they're rolling block dice. You're like, no, I have dodge. I don't go down, but I have block, and you do go down. It's always a fun experience.
The hardest thing to teach is always is assists. That's the hardest thing to teach in the world. How assists work.
Running guard, and you're like, what?
Yeah, guard being probably the best skill in the game. I guess that's debatable, but
it depends on what team you're running.
That's true. I guess yeah.
Guard is good for a bashy team, but for like elves, if you're running elves, you don't usually take that much guard. You take a lot of blodge, and you just run the ball. If you're running chaos, then you want some guard. If you're running ogres, you want some guard. Yeah.
If I get enough, I'll throw a guard on a whatchamacallit, like a gutter runner, because just their movement's so good, I can put them anywhere. Like, boom, you get the assist. Boom, you get 3 assists. You know,
that's okay. I mean,
they'll sneak in there. it just never hurts. I told someone one time, I'm like, when I think it was Alberto. I told him one time, I'm like, he's like, I don't know what skill to take. I'm like, if you're confused on what skill to take and you can take guard, just take guard. Like it won't hurt. Like there's never a
No,
time
yeah.
when guard would be bad. You might find a better skill, but guard's never a bad skill.
Excuse me. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Why not?
Jim, tell me. Tell me about Stunty Cup. Give me a recap. Give for those of us who weren't there. Do the
Why
recap.
were you not there? Wait a minute. Whoa. Why were you not there? Huh?
Life is why I wasn't there.
There should have been at least 10 more lizard teams at a Stunty Cup, for God's sakes. Because nobody actually brought real stunty teams to a Stunty Cup.
They did. They brought, there was halfling teams. I want to say the breakdown was like 3 halfling teams. There was like 4 goblin teams. There was 3 or 4 ogre teams. 1 underworld team. And yes, there were like 7 lizard man teams.
Yeah,
I would have brought underworld. That was what my plan was. I had him ready to go, but I just couldn't make it.
John did good with underworld. He was on top table against Ken Washington, and Chris pulled it out because Ken and John had a 1-1 tie, I believe. And Chris was able to get enough points to catapult himself up to the number 1 position.
Yeah, so, but go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say it was a Florida man Blood Bowl victory.
Yep, and you have no idea how much that pissed off John.
Oh, I do. For as much as those two have like the bromance, you know, they're frenemy McBromance.
Yes.
So they're constantly pushing each other.
If John does not win, he feels like something went wrong and that he was cheated.
Yeah, they're apparently he ran afoul of a ley line and it fucked up his mojo. I was screwing with him because all right, so let me just start off by saying I apologize to anybody that I might have offended or made mad because if you do not know, we could have renamed Stunty Slam to Sauna Slam or Stunty Slam Survivor Edition because the game store, which we've played at many times already, but this particular time their AC broke. So it had to be about 105 degrees in there. I mean, it was brutal. I mean, Sky, how many times did you ask me if I was going to pass out?
More than once. I was getting worried because you looked like you got out of a pool on 2 occasions, and I'm like, "Are you okay, man?" And I can honestly say it fucked with me because the first game I sat down, I was up against halflings, and I'm like, "Okay, now what do I do?" Because my brain was just I was low on electrolytes.
And you're on crutches.
Yeah, that too.
And you're on crutch. Ow.
I was the lone gimp brigade there. I almost didn't go because of that, but John wouldn't let me stay home. So
he's good like that.
Yeah, he is. He's quite the motivator.
So yeah, it was hellishly hot in there, and there were 22 of us, and it made it. We were all piled in the back, and then a few people. I think 6 of them had the smarts to go up front where there were less people. And then by the end of the night, there was nobody up there except for the Blood Bowl players. And it cooled off a little bit. There was a nice breeze. But I will say this. As I was giving out, random prizes for first touchdown, first casualty, first foul catch, like I was giving out random prizes each round.
Yeah.
Like everybody on our side, the hot sweltering side, they were winning the prizes left and right. I think the 6 guys who went up to the other end of the store, not through, not calling it out because I was running back and forth between both ends of the store. It's just that they weren't getting it in time. So I think they only claimed, like 3 or 4 prizes. But I think I gave out at least, let's see. I had to have given out 24 prizes, give or take. And those are just the randoms, like during the rounds. So then we had raffles afterwards, and those were like the painted teams. And then I put together, there was a vampire team that was kind of left over from another tournament. And then John had Josh paint some of the vampires. So I put that with a bunch of other stuff that was given from different vendors and put it all into like one massive prize. And a lot of raffle tickets went towards that. So yeah, there were a lot of prizes given out. It was a good. I had fun. It was just, but yeah, I apologize because it was so flippin' hot, and it's like anytime I was talking to somebody, somebody would see me talking to that person, but then just be like, Jim, to get my attention. I felt like it was like one of my kids at home.
Yeah.
And
You were.
it got to me after a while. And Alan kept doing it to me. And Joe Cohen did it to me. And John did it to me. And Chris did it to me. And it was like everybody kept doing it to me. I think like the heat, just like, normally I could take it. But yeah, I was starting to get a little bit testy. Oh, and the fact that I was supposed to play. I had a ringer. And the ringer bailed at the last minute. And that was going to be my 24 to get my patch, and I couldn't play.
Oh, shit.
So I wasn't like mad about it, but I was a little disappointed. But then when you factor in that and the heat, and then just there was a lot of stuff. And trying to get set up for a big event like that, Ken Parks was really quick to jump in and help me. So there were like 24 posters that had to be signed because I'm sending a signed poster to all the people who donated prizes. So there were posters.
Wow.
There were posters to sign. There was dice to give out. There were play cards to give out. There was all the other swag to give out. There were rosters to check. There was coaches to get registered into score. So there was a shit ton of stuff to do, all within like a 40-minute period so we can try and get started. Because in my mind, I just wanted to get the people who traveled from like Jacksonville, who had like a 2-hour drive home. I didn't want to see them leaving at like 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night. And we did run a little bit late. But if I didn't do that, and keep the rounds at 70 minutes. Like I cut the rounds at 70. So if I didn't do all that, we would have been there a lot later.
Well, that's cool. But don't ever hesitate in the future. If you're low on staff and that happens, you can always ask me and I'll step up because you needed help.
I did, yeah. And Ken jumped, and Ken has helped me before. And sometimes, and believe me, I really appreciate even anybody offering. But even with Ken and I, we were tripping over each other a little bit. Like when we were handing out the cards, he didn't realize there were 2 for each race. So people were like, I only have 1 goblin card. And we're like, oh, where's the other goblin cards? So even with 2 people, under the best of circumstances, we could be tripping over each other. But I think for the most part, everybody, I got a lot of compliments. Everyone seemed to be pretty happy. Everybody had a great time. Everybody walked away with a lot of stuff. So yeah, it was a good event. I'm glad I did it, but I don't think there will be another one here in the U.S. Unless somebody else decides to run it. Because
another Stunty Cup?
Another Stunty Slam, yeah. Because some of the stuff, like there were a lot of coaches walking away going, "I fucking hate Stunty," or "I hate Halfling," or "I hate." So it's one thing to ask everybody to come out and kind of do it. I don't know if I would get 22 coaches again. I don't know if I would, even if there was the promise of AC.
Well, if it was, let me put this gently, if it was an authentic Stunty Slam where you said these are the teams you can bring, and you don't have a bunch of guys showing up with competitive teams that have none of the neg traits of Stunty teams, then, the Stunties have a good shot of having some fun, because ogres and halflings and goblins versus lizardmen is no contest in that situation. And a lot of guys just figured out how to make it competitive, and they showed up with competitive lists, and the top 5, 4 of which were lizards. So there was a little bit of that. I had a lot of fun playing against halflings. I had a lot of fun playing against goblins. And if I didn't tell the lizard coach my very last game how to beat me, we might have tied, but I was a nice guy about that.
Did that team take a Crocs, or were they strictly skink, or did they have
they were Crocs and skinks only.
Okay.
And the skinks, they don't have a lot of the same neg traits that most other Stunty teams have. Like goblins are what? Movement 6, armor 7.
Yeah.
So, the skinks just run around the goblins like crazy. And there's a little bit of that. But, it was a good challenge. I really enjoyed it from start to finish. I got a little upset in the first game because in the very last round we were tied, and Nuffle decided to bless my opponent with magic dice, and I was just, that one got to me a little bit, but okay, it happens.
It does. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
I had go ahead.
No, it was a good time, and I'm glad that there was a tournament where that was that big, and I hope to see more like that before I have to move to Chicago.
Well, there's when do you plan on moving?
The winter, probably before the new year.
Well, there's a lot of tournaments coming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna make all that I can, and playing everything that I can until then. Just
So
have
let's
fun
see.
with it.
There's Alan's got Beach Brawl coming up this Saturday. Then Jason has his River City Sevens on a Sunday the following weekend. Then the weekend after that is Tombstone Cup in Pensacola. Then on August 18th is Knuffles Wild 2, which is a 5-round sevens tournament. 5 rounds for sevens.
Yep. That's what I'm preparing for.
Yes, I definitely want to go to that one. The week after that is Jason Carter, or otherwise known as Voorhees Carnivian's Diabolical Pitch Sanguinator Tournament, which is a charity tournament event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's on 8/25. And then you got the Pro Bowl down your way.
Yep.
Jensen Beach, which is a 1,500 team value, I believe.
16.
16. Oh, my God. 16.
Yep.
That's on September 1st.
16, and you get 2 characteristic boosts, your choice.
And their special play cards.
Yep. And as I'm told, it's designed to be a game where, depending each turn, there's a roll off, and you get this thing called momentum. And while you have momentum, you get to have these completely broken abilities on your team. And then the next turn, there's another roll off, but the person who had momentum last round, their opposing player gets a +1 of the roll, and it keeps going up like that, so that there's like a balance in who gets the momentum. And when I say what I was told about having these like really awesome broken abilities, I mean they are freaking nasty if you've got the momentum. So it'll be crazy. It'll be fun.
Hey, Florida Man's in the house.
What's up, Florida Man?
Hey.
I think your microphone. I think your connection's bad.
Okay.
That sounds better. Florida Man sounded like a Cylon for a second for Battlestar Galactica.
I was a little scared.
Yeah, so my daughter pulled my laptop off of the table and almost broke it. So the speakers now have a little bit of an issue. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Can sound like the Terminator. We'll still understand.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about lizards running rampant in Stunty Slam. So you played lizards and came in first place. So what do you have to say for yourself? Are you ashamed or not ashamed?
Not ashamed. Hemlock is amazing. When you allowed star players, I took the Crocs and all the skinks, and then I took Hemlock, and he did work.
Now my lizard man list, I was taking no Crocs, and I was taking Quetzal Leaf, and I was taking Escape with a 4 agility boost. So I would have liked to have seen how that played out.
Yeah.
Quetzal's like
sorry you didn't get to play, man.
Now you're going to play Lizards of Chaos Cup. Is that accurate?
That's the plan for now, yeah. Yeah, so the 6 of us are going up, meeting like 4 of you guys. There's going to be like 10 of us from Florida there. I'm planning on playing Lizards because they've done really well for me, so I think they'll be good.
You don't want to try the Dark Elves out?
I've played Dark Elves twice in 2 tournaments, and I thought that they were the best roster I could possibly have. And then I take them and I just get mutilated.
Well, they're not a team you're supposed to get connected with. They're a running game team. You're still elves. You got to run the ball around.
A little bit. Yeah.
But hey, I mean, you did win Stunties, so keep going with the Lizards.
Yeah. I am 100% with Lizards. 1 tournaments, 2 firsts.
No shock there.
They're good. Lizards are really good. I don't know. I like them.
Yeah, I mean, tier 1, when you get the Sauruses in there and the Crocs playing all together, you've got equal parts Bash with equal parts Agility. And the Skinks, I mean, you would think that the Saurus are the ones that are like your main ringers for the whole game, but no, the Skinks just take that ball and they just go wherever they want.
Yeah,
Bastards.
so round one of Stunty, I played Ken Parks. He was also playing Lizards. Mirror match, exact same roster. He had Hemlock. We had the same skills. Everything was the same. And
did you guys know that before you started playing?
Yeah, John and I had gone over the roster tons of times. He calls me like every day. and
Ken was eavesdropping and spying on you with his drone.
Yeah, so Ken and John had a conversation. John went over the roster we were discussing, and Ken took it too, because it's a good roster, and that was fine. So we were talking beforehand. He goes, "You know, we have the same roster, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You know, we're going to play each other in the tournament, right?" Like, probably.
See, even though John didn't win the tournament, John's roster won the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, don't inflate his ego.
I'm not trying to.
So I was playing Ken first round, and he knocks out Hemlock on his turn 1. And
oh, wow.
I won the match 3-2, but the final play of the game, I won 3-2 on the last turn with 2 guys on the pitch. It was silly. But what happened at one point early on is he had kicked the ball and it had gone out of bounds, and I had handed it to a Crocs and just plowed down the field with the Crocs.
You handed the ball to a Crocs.
Yeah, because I mean, I could give it to anybody I want on a touchback, and it's like, what's he going to do with a bunch of things?
I see.
So your string 5 just plows down the field for a touchdown. Yeah,
that's true.
That was the most fun. That was really fun. And Jason Carter, he was playing Lizards too. Is it Jason Voorhees? Jason Carter? What's his name?
It's Jason Carter. His AKA is Voorhees Carnivian.
I always call him Voorhees. Yeah, Voorhees. But Jason, he was playing Lizards as well, but all Skinks, and he could not be stopped. We drew 3-3, but there was nothing I could do. He would just score at will. It seemed like that was a really good match. A lot of fun.
Yeah, he did good. So did Patrick with Goblins.
Yeah.
And so you had like 3 Lizardmen, then Goblins, then 3 Lizardmen.
Yeah.
What's the name of the guy who ran Inconceivable, who came to Stunty with Gabos?
Joe
Coton.
Joe? I felt terrible for Joe. I mean, I almost wanted to just give him a, I don't know, and here's an I'm sorry trophy, I guess. But, I mean, so the other guy, he ran all Skinks and you couldn't stop him?
Yeah, he had given 2 of his Skinks Sprint and Surefeet.
Oh, wow.
And so, due to the level ups, one of them had also gotten Catch. And basically, he was able to take the ball from one end to the other end in a turn. Consistent. What? And I would do my best with Hemlock. I'd blitz with Hemlock, using his Stunty, move into the cage, try to stab, would never break armor. Other than that, I'd try to put my Saurus and my Skinks, my Crocs and my Skinks around his cage and block him in, so he'd have to go all the way around, and that didn't faze him at all. He'd find a gap, or he'd do exactly that. He'd go around for 11 spaces. 11.
Was he having to roll a lot of dodge rolls, or was it just
he's a coach, and he'd find a way to make it like 3 dodge rolls, where I tried to make it as much as possible. There were some times where it was like, you're going to have to make 6 dodge rolls. And he'd be like, no, I don't. And he'd block the guy out of the way and make 2 or 3. And but other than that, there was one time I believe he went around, like I was hoping he would, but I had miscounted or something, and he was just 11 spaces to the races, gone. And there's not really a lot you can do. So he did really well. He took 2nd, I think. Yeah.
Damn it. My only game against Lizards, my Ogres did a pretty good job walling off the Skinks for a while, but I also had that one slam card where it was No bonehead rolls for the entire drive, and I have never had such well-behaved ogres ever. That was the best part. I made that drive last, too. Unfortunately, every block I made, I rolled like 5s for armor break.
Yeah. Keep that card handy for when you're playing ogres and slip it in if you're playing with special play cards. Be like, how did that get in there?
Yeah, I've got some extremely competitive people in the leagues I play in, and if I pull that card out, they will not just table flip me, but they will find their strength in it to flip me themselves. Like I played for our recent league, I played a guy who runs Skaven, who thinks he's a great coach, and who utterly wrecked me 2 games in a row with his guys. But for some reason in the playoffs, the winds went the other way, and I slaughtered his team. He did make the mistake, though, that as a Skaven player, he was basing the crap out of my ogres, and I'm just like, you shouldn't do that. And you learn the hard way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pain. So, Chris, what cards did you get for Stunty Slam?
I chose ogres. I didn't know what the cards were beforehand, but I figured that ogres would have something cool with Bonehead, and they did, that Bonehead card. I didn't use it. I did use the Bomber card, like the... yeah. What happened was it was 2-1 me, and Ken, in my first match, was driving. He had set up his Crocs, who had the ball, and some of his skinks all around one of my skinks and had failed to knock them over. So I had base contact with 3 skinks and a Crocs that was holding the ball. And I said, okay, I'm going to use this Bomber card on that skink.
Nah.
It was a great time to use it. But
yeah.
What happened, I only knocked over 1 skink. I did get the casualty, so it was kind of 1 for 1. My guy was gone, his guy was gone. But he scored right after that. So It didn't work out as well as I'd hoped.
Well, still, you fucked him up. I got super lucky. I mean, I should have held on to that card because when I was playing Joe and his goblins in game 2, I used that card when he knocked over one of my runts. And granted, it stopped him from scoring, but if I hadn't have used the card, the dice gods were not kind to him, and I kind of had that game. I had like 2 turns where I had 2 times where I threw a runt and without any rerolls, picked him up, threw him, and he landed, no problem. It just, I couldn't believe it. I did all that fun stuff and didn't roll a single 1, and I stuck a 4-up landing roll 2 times.
Nice.
That never happens. That is extremely rare.
Well, that was a really fun tournament. I'm looking forward to the ones coming up. For Beach Brawl, I'm not sure who's all going, but I'm in the process of making a bunch of beach balls out of green stuff.
Oh, that's not fun.
So I ate like beach balls, and I'm going to give them out to whoever comes.
Kind of like the pies for Stunty Slam?
Yeah.
Were you inspired?
For Christmas with Cthulhu, I think, it was Christmas with Cthulhu. I made little present reroll counters, and I gave them out to just the coaches I played. They were a little harder to make, so I only had 3 for people. But everybody that I played got a Christmas present reroll counter. I'm going to get one.
Oh, that's cool. Aren't you a nice guy? All right, so what y'all doing this week with your teams? You painting them? You getting some new ones? What's going on?
I ain't doing jack. I'm moving, which sucks.
Oh, shit.
Yep. But the good news is I think I'll actually have space to be able to leave my painting supplies out. Because my biggest problem is by the time I get everything out and then I start painting, then I only have so much time before I have to clean it all up again. I can't just leave stuff out. So if I have like a little corner to my own, which I will have now with the new house and has much more room, then I should be able to it'll be good to just come home at night, sit down for an hour, paint, and just walk away. I think I'll get more done.
It is quite helpful. Oh, Ryan.
Super helpful. I mean, not that I mind paying people to paint miniatures for me. Liam did a commission for me that he's finishing up. Josh is about to start one for me. He's done a few miniatures. The guys who painted miniatures for the event, Midwest Miniature Guy, Tom Nelson, he's done stuff for me. The Lone Paintbrush has done stuff for me.
That's my dad's name, Tom Nelson.
Get out, really?
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's not painting miniatures though.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, Chris's dad's painting my miniatures for me.
But is it a good paint job?
Yeah, I can't complain. I mean, I'm not overly critical about anything, and I think everybody, for all the stuff that everybody's done for me, has been fantastic. I've been very happy with it.
Oh, cool. Speaking of which, I'm trying to do that right now.
Yeah. I haven't picked up a brush in a month and a half, 2 months. Like, the muse has to hit me. Like, I'll paint like fucking madman for like a month, and then I'm done for a while.
You just don't know that. You just don't practice the secret technique.
No, I gotta feel the inspiration, and usually it's some sort of new model that I'll want. Like, I'll be like, I really want to paint this model, and then that'll get me doing something.
The inspiration rhymes with aim.
Yeah, that'll get you a lot done. Oh, I gotta paint. Sit down.
Have I told you guys the story about the one time I actually took some what was it? Adderall?
No.
Okay. So Adderall is it's an amphetamine. And amphetamines give you lots of energy. They used to give it, the German pilots took it during World War II so they could fly longer and be more aggressive.
You know who else took it? I think Alex P. Keaton took it on Growing Pains to study for finals. Do you remember that episode?
I never watched Growing Pains. I was still too much of a baby back then.
All right, let me rephrase. Jessie took it on Saved by the Bell. Remember that episode?
She was so excited.
Yeah, she just couldn't fight it or hide it.
I also never watched Saved by the Bell.
Oh my god, fuck it. You don't get any of my references. Just go on with your story.
Okay, sorry. So I used to work at a bar where I did like 12-hour shifts, right? I was a barback busser. My fraternity brother, God rest his soul, walks in one day and he's like, yo, you want to try some of the Adderall with me? And I'm like, should we do that while we're working? He's like, bro, just fucking take it. And like an idiot, I take it. Now, I don't know what I looked like for the next like 15 hours, but I know for a fact that everyone was scared shitless of me because I was the fucking Terminator. I walked around that place, our Irish bar, on a busy Friday night, just like I never took a break. I was like, clean this, wash the glasses, bust the tables. I would fly through the entire restaurant in 10 minutes, have the entire place clean, come right back around and do it again. I just kept going. And the very next day, I think my piss was brown. So
yeah.
Brown. I was that dehydrated.
Yikes. Yep. So you go from yellow to brown? That's scary.
Yeah. But I was like the boss that day, and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You probably felt pretty good, too.
I shit you not, I felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They gave it to the Germans, like, Panzer chocolate is what it was called. Like, they were so... Yeah, they did, to keep them awake and to give them the fighting spirit. So yes. Oh yeah, you can see it though. You go online, just Google Panzer chocolate, and yeah, they were like little pills that they used to give them.
Oh my god! You must have the power and the energy to kill all the Joes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Crazy. Oh my god! I just saw something awesome that I got to share with Ryan. I'm gonna put it in the Florida chat room because this is just too fucking awesome not to.
It is.
I'm not telling you. Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll like it. It's funny. We were just talking about it before, actually.
Where?
It's coming.
Hold on. I have to.
There it is.
That in the chat.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh, $2. I want $2.
Ryan and I were talking before, and he's like, you should do a tournament based on, because he was YouTubing around, and Better Off Dead, the John Cusack movie was on there. He's like, that would make an excellent Blood Bowl tournament theme. I'm like, dude, I did that. Like, that was my second one that I ever did. The first one was Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the second one was Better Off Dead. It actually had dice with a hand with $2 in it as the logo on the dice. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. But then we started looking at sci-fi themes, and I haven't gotten away from that yet either. Sitting there thinking about a Jumanji theme would be kind of cool for a Blood Bowl tournament.
Which one?
I don't know. I actually like the new Jumanji. I didn't think I was going to.
You can set it in Lustria.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Amazons and lizard men.
Well, there's going to be a lot of Lustria coming up with the Three Kingdoms Challenge.
No, I wish I could be here for that.
You can always fly back in.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
You never know. I mean, a 2-day Blood Bowl tournament might be worth it for 2 days.
Well, back in Chicago is when I'll actually be with my family again, and I'll be back under now? No, she's up. My other half is with our daughter in Chicago, and I'm down here finishing school.
Oh, dude, I had no idea.
Yeah, well, I don't hand that out information freely, so.
We just did across the internet because everyone listens to our AMA.
Yeah, all 10 of them.
Right, that's right.
The ones of fans will now know.
Yeah, if they even get to this part, they don't just skip around and try and listen to James and Ryan.
Are you going over there? Are you going to Chaos Cup? Because if they're there, that's where it's at.
Well, I can't say yes or no to that because when I move up to Chicago, there's also the fact that I will have finished school and I will have to get a real professional job in my field, and my employer will set the tone for what hours and days I work. And I don't know if I'll be able to commit to that time until after, I'm settled into a job and I'm working the hours and I know like what days of the week I work plus what days of the week I have off for family stuff.
Well, I thought you said you were going at the end of the year. Chaos Cup's in a couple months, like 2 months. Chaos Cup's in what, September?
Yeah.
Yeah, September. It's like the Blood Bowl North American National.
Yeah, it's the only major U.S. Blood Bowl tournament, actually. That's every year.
Right there. In Chi-Town. Oh, he left. We made him upset. We talked about Chicago.
Crap. That's why you never talk about Chicago.
Okay, there we go. Goddamn phone. All right, I missed whatever you just said. Sorry.
Oh, we're saying I thought you said you were going back up there at the end of the year. It's in September is the tournament.
Oh, the Chaos Cup's in September.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is an interesting predicament. I will have to check.
I think it's the second week of September. But yeah, I was just figuring you got kinfolk up there. It gives you a double reason to go.
I mean, I would love to go. I just have to see if I can get a plane ticket, get a hotel, and if I have money for all that, which right now is definitely not happening, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Right now, my tournament sphere is local. Plus, I guess this is kind of a big announcement. Right now, down here in South Florida, we're working on getting our next league going. That's supposed to start next month. Pretty much our West Palm Beach NAF league. We had one that was going out of the GW store, and I'm not really allowed to comment on that one because some shit happened. We're we have finished that pretty much. It kind of fizzled out at the end for reasons. And now we're going to start another one. We're probably going to lose half our GW players. I'm trying to go to the store where we were going to play this at every Sunday, just to hang out and try and find more players, because I know they're out there. They just got to come out of the woodwork. And a lot of the folks that play Blood Bowl, they don't go to Games Workshop that much because, most of the cool minis for Blood Bowl are not GW. And GW has that stupid policy where if you're going to play in their store, you have to use Games Workshop miniatures.
Yeah.
And Blood Bowl is just like, well, fuck you. But yeah, we're going to start a league. It's going to be centered out of Past, Present, Future Comics in West Palm. But one of the big things we're pushing for this is that you can play a game anywhere, because we're trying to have the rosters online with the OBBLM thing, so that people don't have to always come to West Palm Beach to play. We're going to have guys playing that come from Port St. Lucie, and then I live in Delray Beach. Rob lives out in Loxahatchee. So that's our goal.
And that's a good goal to have.
Yes. So I got to work on developing that, so we actually have some, right now we've got 5 guys, and that's not enough. So that's what I'm focusing on. That and Josh's tournament, and I haven't looked at anything else beyond that.
Have any of you guys seen? I saw people talking about it online, but I haven't been paying attention to Facebook lately at all. But I saw a couple comments here and there. Is the new Spike Dark Elf out?
Yes.
The miniatures, yeah, they are out.
No, but I meant the Spike magazine. I didn't know if any changes had happened, or what did they put in it? Was it great? Was it awful? Because the Chaos...
It's out.
It's definitely out. It's definitely out. John had a copy when we were driving up to Stunny Slam.
Yeah.
That I glanced through.
Did they put anything interesting in?
Roxana has there's another Roxana now, is what I heard.
You faded out. She has what?
There's another Roxana. There's a copy an evil or whatever Roxana. I didn't hear much about it. I heard that they had a bunch of star players, and one of them's an alternate Roxana sort of deal.
Oh, kind of like what they did with Carla Von Kill.
Sure. Yeah.
She was a replacement for the Vampire Slayer.
Yes, they added a bunch of Dark Elf star players.
Okay. That was kind of expected. I know they said they're trying to aim to get 10 on every team.
Oh. That's cool.
Well, why don't they give Ogres some better star players, huh?
Eventually. I think eventually they will. They're just getting around to it. Yeah, they said they're going to try to do 10 for every team because they want to give price range, basically star players at every price range for every team.
That makes sense.
That way, there's some cheap ones for every team. There's some mediums. There's some big ones. I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. And it looks like all their star players are starting to become cheaper and cheaper. And I think that's because they want to make them more appealing, because the more appealing they are, then they can sell models for them.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right now, the only person who plays star players is John Alberto.
Hey, I've run star players in the league at times, but I've never run them against you guys. Because most of the leagues I played in, from the Dash, the Flex, and Stunny Slam, only one of those tournaments you were allowed to actually take star players.
I love star players. If I get a chance to take Griff, I'm taking Griff. It's happening.
John is taking a Griff Bretonian team to Chaos Cup.
Yeah, I'm talking. I'd considered taking a human Griff team to Chaos Cup. That was high on my list just because I get to take Griff.
Yeah.
But he works really well in Bretonians. That was going to be my team if I got to play in the one I ran, the Tournament of Champions. I was running a Bretonian team with Griff.
Yeah, Griff's a badass.
Clay was saying something at Stunty Cup about a tournament next year that's going to be a near 2 million value, and you have to take a star player. You guys hear about that?
No.
We'll have to talk to Clay about it. I'm pretty sure it was Clay, tall guy from Jacksonville.
Yes. Yeah, he's looking to do something like that in the not too distant future.
Yeah. Kind of like Grand
Games.
Arena, but slightly higher value.
What was that?
Kind of like Grand Arena.
Yeah. He's waiting to see how the Pro Bowl goes.
Every time you up that TV, you need to add like, I think for every 200K beyond 12 that you add, you need to add a half hour to your expected game length.
Yeah, I told him that about the longer game times. So he's looking to see how the Pro Bowl goes.
Yeah, I told Alberto, like, give yourself some cushion room there, because the games ran longer than I definitely expected. So.
Where is Josh tonight? Why isn't he here?
Question. I was chatting with him today, and then he kind of dropped off and was doing his own thing.
Oh, is he going into a bit of a funk right now?
Because his brokers have been on a little bit of a losing streak.
Yeah.
He'll turn it around. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the post where he basically was saying that his brokers got a little worked.
They got a little roughed up, yeah.
It's gonna happen.
The boneheading got back to him. It does happen. The boneheaded bastards do that. They don't always like to play well.
Yeah, well, when you take second at a Florida tournament and fourth at a tournament in Tennessee out of like 30-some people, I mean, at some point you have to ogre,
The expectation gets pretty high, yes.
Come on.
It's weird that like his team kind of choked at the Stunty Cup. Like that's his event. That's like the premier event for that thing.
Yeah.
See, I want to know how it is he thought he choked, because, I mean, I brought ogres too, and
I assume he thought he was going to win, or everyone goes in thinking they're going to win. So I don't mean choked, but you know what I mean. Like they didn't perform as well as he thought they would. How's that?
Yeah. Well, I know
not put words in anyone's mouth.
I know he wasn't happy about it. I mean, obviously, everybody wants to win. But yeah, I think he did expect to win the tournament. Like he and I think with Washington were kind of like the premier matchup that I and a lot of people were expecting to be top table. And so I think he had a tie, and that kind of went out the window. I don't think he was very happy with that.
Okay.
I mean, I expected him to win it. I did.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. He's the best stunty coach that I know of. So.
Does he get mad if you call him stunty? Like if you call Josh himself stunty?
Would you be mad if somebody called you stunty?
Yeah. Like I heard that that was said and he got upset about it, but I'm like, Josh, I would take that as a compliment if I was him, because he's really good with stunties.
I don't know.
I just find it funny that stunty is the word for what they are. Like the first time I remember seeing that in a GW context was second edition 40K in the Orc Codex. Orcs called dwarves stunties. That was like their word for squats, the space dwarves. Was stunty. But now you would never refer to dwarves as stunty in Blood Bowl, so I just think that's...
No.
There you go. The more you know. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, you get that reference. Doesn't get my reference.
Hey, there are some I do know, okay? Because that was played around when I was a little kid.
When I was a little kid, oh God, I feel old.
Look, I was born in 86, all right?
86 was a good year, man. Freaking baseball. That was right before Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonilla came out with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I would comment, but I think you'll kick me.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. I like being on your good side, James. I don't want you to start looking at me going like, with a step back.
No. I do not think I will be running another stunty, though. A stunty slam. One was enough for me.
I mean, okay, if you got some more staff, like some folks that would commit to being your staff for the large tournaments, it'd be a lot easier. And before, like, the tournament takes place, the day before, you and the staff get together, and it's like, okay, this is how we're going to coordinate and manage. Because...
Well, Jim, you've run bigger tournaments. What was it about this one that gotcha?
A lot of components, the heat, the timetable, like everything felt rushed to me because I wanted to try and wrap it up before 11 o'clock. I don't know. It just, for whatever reason, it just felt really rushed to me.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Don't run a Friday tournament, then a Saturday tournament. You're probably exhausted.
I could have been, yeah, but when you're there in the moment, your adrenaline's pumping. It doesn't faze me any. I don't think having the tournament the day before did anything to it. It just was a set of bad circumstances on that day. I didn't expect the ringer to drop. I didn't expect the AC to be broken. I didn't expect. I think there was something else too.
Well, here's the thing too. I totally forgot. Even because of Stunty Slam being so big, how did the Friday tournament go?
Friday tournament was good. I think we had 10 coaches. And
how was the site? How was Sci-Fi City?
I liked Sci-Fi City, and
okay.
As a matter of fact, nothing against campus cards and collectibles or whatever it is. When we found out that the AC was broke, I actually put a call out to Sci-Fi City to see if they would host us for the event. But Troy was very gracious and stayed late the night before for us to finish the tournament. And it really wasn't an option for him to keep the store open later another day in a row. But I would definitely go back and play another tournament at Sci-Fi City. It was a really nice. They had a lot of stuff. I mean,
yeah. They've always. That's always they have so much stock. That's always kind of been the thing.
And Troy was super nice, and he actually played in the first two Three Kingdom challenges. They were actually held at the old Sci-Fi City. So it was so he hasn't played in a long time, but he played. I brought my humans. He borrowed them. He had fun, and his one of his employees there at the store. What was his name? It's escaping me at the moment, but yeah, he ended up playing too.
Okay, all right, that's good. So another location. So the space was good. Like I said last time, it's been a while since I've been to Sci-Fi City, and I don't have a lot of memories of the new location. So, but I don't know. I know compared to the old location, it was quite small. But once again, the old location was gigantic. Their playing area was bigger than the house, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, they had plenty of room even at the new location. I mean, we were spread out. So if there were 10 of us there, we probably could have got another 10 in.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good space then.
Well, James?
Yeah.
I think that the only thing about Stunty Slam, the tournament itself, that was within your control, that made it rough for you was just all the people that were constantly, on your case. I mean, the AC component, I mean, that was beyond our control. And yeah, I mean, now listening that you had a tournament the day before, I mean, fuck, you needed a rest, man.
I never had an event where I had so many people like coming at me at one time. Like it was, I never had that before. Like usually, so I'll chalk it up to the heat.
Yeah. Oh my God. I will never forget. You walked up, I think it was like round 2. I looked at you and I'm like, you're going to pass out, dude.
Oh, my face was flushed. Yeah.
You looked like you had just walked out of a shower with your NAF shirt. Your beard was like out to here. I was worried for you, man.
What's the name of the guy who had best defense? who only allowed 1 touchdown.
Frank Funk.
Frank.
Yeah, he's the guy you what's the word? You know what I'm talking about. He's the guy who knelt in front of you with the trophy.
Yeah. During the
That's
pictures, he was like, we should get a picture kneeling down or whatever else. And I put my hand on his head. I was going to mention because we were all so sweaty, my hand was drenched afterwards. I was washing my hands. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, come on, Florida man. That shouldn't be too rough for you.
Yeah, I was like, that was a bad idea. But it was a good picture.
It was funny.
I actually got rid of the beard after that tournament. I had to. So
what?
Nice and well, not completely shaved. I'm nice and trimmed. That's all. See?
Oh my God! It's a new man.
Yeah, it's manageable now.
I barely recognize you.
Yeah, you actually look completely different.
Yeah, that's relatively new. I was Marco Poloing with you, and you still had the beard. What?
Yeah,
2 days?
It was yesterday. Yeah, it was just Sunday was the deal breaker. Well, Saturday was the deal breaker, and then Sunday prepping to move to the new house. I was up in my attic pulling all my Christmas decorations out and stuff, and I would literally poke my head up there, and within 30 seconds, like my face is on fire, and I'm like, if I could just pull my beard off right now, I would. And then that night, I couldn't. I'm like, I have to shave it. It was just, ugh.
Yeah, that does sound pretty miserable.
Oh, it was. Yeah, that. Josh is actually helping me move on Saturday, so he's skipping Alan's tournament to help me move.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he professed needing a little bit of time off from some Blood Bowl as well.
Oh. Does he need some mental health time off?
No, I mean, it's a lot of events. Plus, he's in 2 leagues. He plays at Dogs of War.
Shit.
Yeah, he plays at Dogs and he plays at Gyfo. So I mean, he's got like Blood Bowl.
And he plays, too. And I know he plays online a lot too.
Oh yeah, and he plays online too. So yeah, he's got a lot of Blood Bowl.
A lot of Blood Bowl.
Oh.
So
damn.
What is? I know it was kind of last minute. What's up with the Tombstone event?
So Ken Atkinson, who was at Inconceivable, he won Inconceivable. And he's been to a couple of my tournaments in Melbourne. He's really nice guy.
Yeah, we met him at Cornable, right?
Yep, him and his son Tristan play, and they play in the league at Pensacola. So anyway, he was asking me, he's like, I want to run a tournament next summer, and I'm like, oh, okay. He's really planning in advance. And then I guess he kind of caught like the idea that I think I'm going to run this as kind of like a warm up to that, and it just kind of happened for August. So there's really no, rhyme or reason. Maybe before Tristan goes back to school, or I'm not sure why it ended up happening so soon. But
well, I know he's a teacher, so yeah, maybe he's trying to cram it in before the school year.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah. So we got
Who is that?
Mark Perry from out in Vegas on the line.
Hi, Mark Perry.
It's in City Bowl this weekend.
Yes, in City Bowl this weekend.
Get Jim Left to fly out here and play.
Oh, dude, if I wasn't moving, I think I could have made that happen. But I think my wife would leave me for sure if I just said, hey, I'm going to Vegas to play Blood Bowl, have fun moving all the furniture and shit.
It's just
get a GoFundMe page.
That is true. Yeah.
Been there all week.
A new and improved version.
Yeah, you better hope she doesn't listen to this.
Yeah, I heard a female voice up there.
That's my wife. We're
okay.
We're at Floyd Land Park doing our walking to get fit thing.
Ah, you're a healthy person.
Not if you saw me, but hopefully.
He's becoming a
why are
healthier
you walking?
person.
Oh.
To get fit. I normally run, but my legs are a little bit sore from the last 4 days, so
what is
brisk
this
walking,
thing
and I'm going to go
called
swimming.
What are you talking about?
Put one foot in front of the other.
Mark's a mailman. Mark's literally walking and driving all day long anyway.
Oh, good Lord. God bless you, man.
In 108-degree weather today with 20% humidity was not fun.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so he felt no sympathy for us when we were at our 110-degree Blood Bowl plunge on Saturday.
All right.
Now, here's the reason why I feel no sympathy, because the very first Sin City Bowl was held into a nice little shop called Empire, and it had no AC that first year. So I've done it in a hotter city, and I think it was like 125.
Yeah.
Time of year.
Hold on. I spent 2 weeks in Vegas. I would rather be in 110 in Vegas than 93 here. The humidity here is awful. Vegas was comfortable. Like, I was walking around, they're like, it's 104, and I'm like, this feels great. The only thing is you don't notice that you get dehydrated. Like, all of a sudden, you're like feeling your lips, and you're like, why the hell are my lips all chapped? And you're like, I've lost all my water, and I don't sweat. And you're like, oh, that's not good. And I had to spend like 1 day in my hotel room, and I literally ran the shower to like mist up the room because I was like, I'm from Florida and I need humidity. Like, I spent
you don't
2
even
weeks in
know
Vegas.
how many people have told me that. They do
And the other thing about Vegas that was weird is you're walking down the street and you're like, oh, I'd really like a breeze because it would cool down a little. But the breeze feels like an oven door opening, and it's just hot, hits you, and you're like, no, I don't want breezes.
All right, now try being in a mail truck all day, driving down the street with the heat, and we don't have air conditioning. The best we can get is that oven breeze to hit our sweat to try to cool us off.
Oh, that is nasty. But yeah. Walking the strip in Vegas, like, it was great. Like, I know we flew in, too. We flew in at midnight, and it was like 98 degrees or something like that at midnight. Because I went dead middle of summer.
That was our last night's overnight low, was 98.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's a little rough.
But I'm telling you guys, it's not as bad as here in the humidity. Like, because you're just sweating. You're just, your whole clothes are all wet and everything. Over there, I was like, yay, it's warm, but it can get dangerous.
I spent 2 weeks in Florida going to all the theme parks and such, and you know what? The humidity sucks. Don't get me wrong, and you're sticky. That's what I hated the most. Is you're just sticky all day. But you know what? I'll take your wet heat over my dry heat any day. Any day. Like I wasn't thirsty.
Sexual.
Yeah.
Shut your face, Jim. So what's this GoFundMe page to get Jim to Sin City Bowl this weekend? Get some movers to move your stuff. Get Jim to Vegas.
There we go. GoFundMe page. That's the one that's going to go through right after Kylie Jenner has her GoFundMe page to become the first young billionaire. I'm sure you've all donated to that.
No.
James, I have bad news.
What's that?
She's already a billionaire.
Yeah, she's already on the cover of Forbes magazine for being a millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a million. She's worth like $970 million.
No, billionaire.
She
made it on Forbes.
Oh, did she make it?
The youngest female ever to become a billionaire.
And it wasn't because of the GoFundMe page.
No. I'm sure
it was because of her makeup line.
Yeah, it's because hundreds of thousands of millions of women have incredible vanity and husbands' paychecks to spend. Or their own.
Is that what put it over?
Yep. Everybody.
So what is tonight's topics?
Well, I have two topics while we have Mark on the phone. One is Mark is coming to Florida in February 2019. So we are going to do, yes, he is. So we are going to do Sin City in Florida, and we're going to run. I wanted to do a copycat event. It was actually something I was thinking about, where there's so many events that go on all over the world, all over the country that you can't get to, but you like the rule sets. So I wanted to reach out to the tournament organizer and say, hey, can I run your same event in Florida? And with Mark coming, I thought it would be awesome to run Sin City Sevens here in Orlando. So we're going to do that, and we're going to utilize his star players. Raph at Arna Studio has some. We're going to do the pitches. If anybody wants to buy them from Jacket Maelstrom, the Sin City 7 Blood Bowl pitches. Actually, I think he's revising them a little bit, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, they look good. They look great. He's revived the grass and all that kind of good stuff on them.
Cool. So there's
I have a question.
Yeah.
Will there be a pitch available for the winner to choose as a prize?
Could.
Well, little do you know, since I've been talking to Jack about this whole thing, there will not be a winner as a prize per se to select. The winner will get a Sin City Bowl sevens pitch that has champion in the end zones.
Oh.
So it's going to be the same exact pitch, except for the end zones, instead of it just being checkered mark, it'll say champions and the year 2019.
Nice. There you go.
Nice.
See, Jim, I can't let you do everything.
Well, now that I'm done with my 24, I don't have to play teams that I'm not familiar with. So I guess I'll be starting to rack up some tournament wins here.
You're not done with your 24. I do believe you still have Lizardmen to do.
I have one left, yes, it'll be done. I'm pretty sure it'll be done by February 2019. I have a pretty good feeling.
You've only got a couple months here, James. You really got to bang it out. Come on, get into a tournament.
Which is funny because his last team is my favorite team.
Yep, that's true.
Has Jim ever mentioned that we both won a tournament, our first tournament, on the very same day with the same exact roster? Has he ever mentioned that?
I'm not surprised.
Nope. Yeah, but mine wasn't an NAF event. Yours was.
Well, that's because you just wanted it for your locals, since your locals were all butthurt that other people came in and took all the prizes.
Oh, they were. I actually had a guy crying because he got beat so bad.
Was it Sippos?
No, it wasn't Sippos. But he did. But he did play in that. It was what was it called? SummerSlam. And he played in that event, and I had the easiest. What do they call it? Like your strength of schedule.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was pathetic, and it was all random. But I ended up playing a rookie coach in round 1. I played Joe Sippos in round 2, and then by the time round 3 came around, I was leading the pack, and I ended up playing another guy. It was his humans against the lizards, and I beat him. And unfortunately, it was a non-NAF event.
Which was hilarious because you're messaging me that you won round 1, and I'm like, oh, I'm on the way to my event. You finish round 2 and Mike started, and you're like, I send you when you won round 3. I'm like, hey, I just round 1. You're like, oh, well, it must be the list. Must be the list.
It was a good list. Well, we were talking about that before because John Alberto worked with Chris on the list for his Lizards for Stunty Slam.
What was the highest placing Lizard team? Or did Lizards win first through third? I saw that there's a lot on there. So
Lizards were top 4 out of 5 in Stunty Slam. For Stunty Slam, a non-Stunty team got the top 5.
But
they're not. They are not. They are Stunty. You just don't have Saurus.
Okay, you're only a Stunty team if more than half of your team is Stunty.
Well, all right. Well, let's look at this. More than half of the Lizardmen are Stunty. You have a Crocs, and then the rest are Skinks. There is no.
They're more Stunty than Goblins. Goblins have 2 Trolls and a bunch of Stunty Goblins.
Goblins
Lizards only have Skinks and 1 Crocs.
Goblins have the Stunty essence, where
Because
most of the team gets fucked up pretty easily without doing anything but their own roles.
Jim, it sounds like someone's butt hurt that Lizards took 1st through 4th or whatever.
Butt hurt? I got butt raped, not butt hurt. Okay, let's get that clear.
Hey, just to make it clear, Patrick Wynn, his Goblins that finished in that top 5, I made that list for him, so I felt really proud of him when I saw that he tied for 2nd.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was Lizardman, Goblin, Underworld, Lizardman.
Yeah,
really, that many Lizards?
Yeah.
John Alberto and I work on every list together now. Whenever another tournament comes up, we help design each other's lists. And it's a great relationship.
2 brains better than 1.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that what he does?
Yeah.
I will not be so vain to say that I don't do the same. I actually, like Matthew Vanderby, he's the #1 Amazon coach ever. I message him, hey, Matt, what would you do in this build with your amazing Amazons? He sends me a list. I'm like, nope, I would never have thought of that at all. As a matter of fact, I'm not doing that because I'm not going to be good with that build. So
The other reason or thing to talk about tonight, and I'm glad Mark is actually on here because I have an awesome idea. And because I'm pretty sure he's not going to listen to this. So
I'm not going to listen to this.
Not you. No, somebody else. So he's not going to care if I talk about him anyway because he's Steven. So Steven leaves Florida and goes out to Arizona and starts talking shit about the Florida Blood Bowl coaches here, saying, they were all so easy. I played Goblins in my first tournament so that people wouldn't get their asses kicked so bad and not want me to play it anymore. And I won all the tournaments. He's won 2 trophies, 2 first places. So the last T-shirt order that I did, he ordered a T-shirt from me. So I have to send it out to him to his new place in Arizona. So what I want.
Why don't you send it to me and I hold it ransom so he has to come pick it up from me?
Nope, I got a better idea. So because of Steven being so nice to all of us Florida Blood Bowl coaches and running Goblins in the first one and only winning 2 tournaments while he was here, I think we should all get thank you cards, like Hallmark cards, and put it with the T-shirt when we send it out to him, saying, "Thank you so much, Steven. I really appreciate what you did for me because I wouldn't be nowhere near the Blood Bowl coach as you are if you hadn't done that for me." I want to load the box up with all these thank you cards and send them out to him. I think that'd be
Thank
funny
you
as
for
hell.
leaving.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, he probably would on a half-hour to 45-minute tirade on how bad Melissa was and how stupid she was for thinking Juggernaut means she stands firm during a both down and still stays standing. I'm like, dude, come on. She's a new coach. Look at her record. She's never won, and she has 2 ties. And you're going to talk crap about somebody new?
Oh, yeah. He was not happy playing her in that tournament. He just wanted it to be over.
So that was his game against the Meeples?
No, he's not a meatball coach. That's somebody else.
No, what I'm saying is, when he played Melissa, was that his Meeple game?
Yes, that would be the equivalent of his meeple game. Yes. Steven probably looked at Melissa as a meeple. He's like, God damn it, I'm playing a meeple coach. You mean the coach is putting meeples on the pitch? No, the fucking coach is a meeple.
Well, that needs to be a shirt in the tournament. My coach is a meeple.
Meeple. Well, has Jim discussed the rules with the Sin City Sevens? Has he discussed the star players and that each round you get a different one?
No.
Well, that's interesting.
I was waiting to talk to you to see how you wanted to do it.
Oh, you said you're a copycat, so I figured the same thing.
Yeah. Well, then why don't you tell all of our listeners, all 5 of them?
There's got to be more than that listen.
Well, maybe.
I took over the Sin City Bowl from 2 through current, so this is season 5. So season 2, I made Franken Sinatra. He's a flesh golem with all kinds of awesome skills. Actually, Jim helped me build the skills of this one with the boss. He gets a stackable leader reroll, which is pretty cool, which is something I don't think very many coaches have thought about. And then year 2, we did Sammy Gooley Jr. He's a ghoul that's basically an utter nightmare on defense. He's your worst nightmare. Tackle, diving tackle, block, dodge, all that great stuff. Last year, probably my favorite one to date was Dean the Spleen Martin. He's a werewolf that has block, claw, mighty blow. He must pile on to cause a casualty. So if he rolls a KO, it doesn't matter. He has to pile on, even if it becomes a stun. That was his rule set. And then this year is Elvis Deadly, which is basically your basic vampire. But the rule about him that really is really touchy is that he has a taste for premium blood, since he is the king. So he only bites positional players. Now, I did a play test with him, and he was absolutely brutal to the stunty teams.
What do you mean he only bites? How does that work that he only bites positionals? If he only bite members on his own team?
That's correct. He'll only bite positionals on his own team.
So he only bites
So if you're a
vampires.
halfling team, no, he plays on all the teams in the Sin City Bowl.
Oh,
so any
player.
team. So yes, correct. So if you're halflings, guess what? He is only biting the treemen. If you're ogres, he's only biting the ogres. And so forth. So he was brutal during a playtest tournament we did. Brutal.
I got a question for you, Mark.
Sure.
So with Elvis, if there's only linemen left on the field, does he leave the pitch?
He runs off the pitch. He's going to go feed on a fan because there's nobody good enough to feed on. He will not eat the linemen.
He's only going to feed on a fan in the VIP section.
That's right.
Yeah, he's disgusting with dodge, fend, hypnotic gaze, leap, loner, regen. and he's a 6'4", 4'8". Fucking leap.
So the worst part about him was that he would just kill people, or casually. So during the playtest, we're like, all right, this is really brutal against those teams that only have 1, 2, or people that only bring like 3 positionals because that's all they can fit under the team value. And especially now that Jim is doing 7 style, it really fits that. It really hurts in positionals because in 7s you can only bring 4 positionals, period. So we made the worst effect it can do is a KO. But in our 7s version of it, we did the worst effect it will do is just he goes over, bites, and it stuns somebody. That's it. There's not even a KO in the 7s version. So that, Jim, I recommend carrying over because a KO in 7s, you get one person down. Ooh, that's painful.
Yeah. We should have given
especially
him
in your own hand.
I'm sitting here looking at him now. We should have given him Pro automatic because he's so good.
Pro would actually help that out for the bite roll.
Yeah, it would.
So I was actually considering, I was talking to Brian too about it for this tournament coming up this Saturday, is that he doesn't have to use loner when it comes to out for a bite. And he's like, no, because then you got to remember loner on this and loner on that. So I agreed. I'm like, yeah, just keep the loner. He's got to bite somebody. He's got to bite positional. Deal with it.
And then you got, then we're going to allow
Croczilla, which, man, I don't even remember the skills on him because I don't have that sticker on my phone anymore, Jim. So I'm like, he's brutal. I know he's got regen. I know he has block. It was based off, Croczilla was only something I made for my own league, guys. I don't know if you've ever seen the model. It's basically a massive Gila monster because my teams, my Lizardmen are Tucson Gila monsters. It's based off of a hockey franchise that the Tucson market used to have, and Tucson's where I call home, even though I live in Vegas. So every Lizardman team I've ever had, I call them the Tucson Gila monsters. Every league, everything. So I own several Lizardman teams. Jim can attest to that.
Several?
And
oh my God, that's an understatement.
How many teams do you need?
All of them.
Well,
No,
currently
how many
right now.
Lizardmen teams?
Well, currently I'm down to 3. Thank goodness. I've offloaded a couple. I had 2 game day Lizardman teams. 2 of them, yes. 2 game day Lizardman teams. I sold one of them to a Robert Flynn. I don't know if you've ever seen that video online. He was the moron that melted them down because we kicked him out of our league. So he melted down an $800 Lizardman team that he paid for.
He took one of those videos where he wanted to take revenge and therefore he burned his own team.
Correct. Only because he knew that would hurt me, because I told him I had 2 Games Day Lizardman teams. I bought one from Bart over in Spain. He was like, hey man, I'm really needing to get some funds. And I'm like, Games Day Lizardman team? Yeah, I'll take it. Boom. I bought it off his hands right away. He goes, full disclosure, I gotta let you know, one of the stores, the foot broke off when I dropped the model years ago, but there's a tuft of grass over the foot, no big deal. I'm like, all right, cool, great, no big deal. If it's covered, I don't care. I got the team. Okay. I had them immediately stripped because he had all the Saurus, different colors and so much. And this is the Games Day Lizardman team, the one of the rarest teams they have out there. I'm like, I don't care. It's missing a foot. This is the holy grail as a Lizardman coach because that's my favorite team. I strip them, have them paint it. For whatever reason, that foot irked me. I'd stare at that one model. So I put a little message out there on Facebook years ago, and I put, hey man, does anybody have this one Saurus? This is the one thing that's irking me, and it's like stabbing my back. Believe it or not, a guy in Chicago says, tell you what, give me your address. I'll mail those, the full complete steel, brand new in the box, Games Day Lizardman team, and a set of the NAF black block dice, $50. I couldn't pay that guy, PayPal him fast enough. And you know what? I'm just taking a shot in the dark. I didn't know the guy. Sure enough, 3 days later, I had the Game Day Lizardman, brand spanking new, still in the cellophane from Games Workshop, from Games Day in Chicago, with the black NAF dice. I'm like, all I need is the dark blues. I had the whole collection except for the dark blue. Oh, the purples. That's what it was, the purples. So I had a better painter. His name is Mark Garcia, best painter I've seen walk the planet. I mean, I'm sure there's better out there, but he's the best here in Vegas. So I had him repaint that. He painted that team, and it looks far superior than the other one. So a buddy of mine goes, well, you got 2 Games Day. What's your stupid price for it? I'm like, well, I paid $400. He goes, I'll give you $800. Boom, take them. They're yours. He has a new coach. He has a lot of disposable money. He's from a rich daddy that won the lottery back in the day, so he had plenty of disposable cash. So we took him. He ended up getting kicked out of our league because he played the same coach. Our league is anybody can play anybody. Just switch up the team. No, he played his Wood Elf team against a Goblin coach 10 times in a row. He won 10 times in a row. He boosted up this one catcher to movement like 10, +1 strength, all the craziness and all that kind of stuff. And then he would just talk shit because nobody could beat him. I'm like, dude, you played Goblins 10 times in a row. The playoffs are next week. Guess what? You're the number 1 seed. I'm the number 8 seed. And I'm going to stomp your ass. And sure enough, I did stomp his ass. And then he went on a flaming tirade. I quit this league. You guys are a bunch of bullshit. I should have played Lizardman against. I should be able to pick who I want to play on the number 1 seed. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. If you see the NFL, 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, and so forth. So he got mad, rage quit, melted down his team, and so goes that one. So that was my second game to Lizardmen team. I had the third, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's third, 4th edition, original Lizardmen team. And then I have, I don't know if you've seen the Hungry Troll dinos. All I can say, breathtaking models. Mark Garcia has spent, I want to say, better part of a year painting them. I showed Jim just the Croxagore because I won't show anybody else the rest of them because they're going to be part of Hungry Troll's next year catalog. So after I showed Juan from Hungry Troll the Croxagore, he goes, can I use this in my catalog? I'm like, absolutely. Mark Garcia would love that. So that's going to be part of Hungry Troll's catalog, the team. So I can't really show anybody because I was told not to post any pictures until after he gets it in his catalog and so forth. So I got that Lizardman team. I have the Lizardman team I'm building myself through RNS Studio, which now it looks like it's changing because I'm going to tell you guys, if you haven't seen my post on Facebook for the Sin City Bowl trophies that I've been doing this, that took 10 days, mind you, to get from concept and from my brain to 3D design, the 3D print, which Tom Anders of Impact, if you haven't used his 3D printing, you're freaking crazy because it comes out as if it was resin cast. So smooth, so clean. Big shout out to Tom Anders. And
so
I'll tell you
he's
what,
got a very expensive 3D printer.
He's got a very expensive one. And you know what? People that, I guess, he has to keep continuing the business, changing it around. You know, everybody cried about the new GW models came out. So he did a Kickstarter to upgrade his best sellers to the larger size and so forth. And everybody's like, oh, it's just the same old stuff. Yeah, but it's the same old stuff in the new size because everybody wants the models bigger and better. So now he's branching out into other games because you got Super Dungeon Explorer and Super Ninja All-Stars through Ninja Division that he's still, you know, trying to work with and make models for them and such. So he bought this awesome 3D printer. I'm going to tell you what, the trophies, 10 days, they were in my hands. I'm telling you, I so wish my painter wasn't in San Diego right now because I would have drove an hour across town and sat there and seen what he'd done with an hour with one of these things. They're that good. Tom Anders, I want to say he spent like 70 grand on this 3D printer. It is top of the fucking line. It took 20 hours to print my trophies, and it looks that. It looks like it took 20 hours because it's that crisp, that clean. Jim will be receiving one in the mail. Everybody else has to earn them, but there's a couple people that get one for free. Jim, because everything Jim does for me, I don't pimp him out enough, and if I did, I think Jim would never have any time for himself if I did so. And then Jack and Jack from Maelstrom Gaming, he's going to get one. Other than that, everybody else has to earn one. I offered Velvet Mark, the guy who did the 3D art for it, which, holy crap, I said, I'll send you one. He goes, no, I'm going to come to Vegas and I'm going to win one from you. So I'm like, okay. I mailed everybody that's won the Sin City Bowl the previous 4 years, I mailed them one of their own. Actually, I only had to mail one to Jan in Spain because or Switzerland because he won the very first Sin City Bowl that I didn't run. So I mailed him one because I thought that was the only right thing to do. I made these little trophies. Oops. Whoopsie. Someone dropped out. Was that me? Can you hear me?
I think we lost Jim.
Okay. I just heard did it, so I didn't know if I dropped out of the call.
Could you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Jim.
Okay, no, I'm still here.
I think your other account logged out, Jim.
It did. I'm going mobile.
Oh, you're going mobile. Oh, okay. That's what we heard then. So Jan, he won the very first Sin City Bowl, the one I didn't run, and he was promised a whole bunch of stuff from the from the first TO, a championship pitch and all that kind of stuff. And none of that really happened. So I've been going above and beyond for this Sean guy. And so I'm like, hey, I sent him a new championship pitch. I sent him the trophy. And I'll tell you what, the guy's like, why do you even remember me? I'm like, because it's the right thing to do. You won the tournament. You should have one of these things that I'm giving out to tournament winners only. So.
Well, that's cool. You're a great guy.
Me?
Yeah. Well, why would I? Here's even a better realization. Why would I remember him? He was my first ever NAF loss in the championship game. In the championship game of the original Sin City Bowl. I didn't play Blood Bowl prior to that. And I'm like, all right, this is my very first tournament. I hope I do well. And then I get to the final table against this guy who's #1 Skaven in the world, and he proceeds to hand me my ass.
Yes.
I'm telling you what, that was the day I learned, excuse my language, Jim, fuck Claw Mighty Blow. He had a Rat Ogre with Claw Mighty Blow, and he had 2 Storm Vermin with Claw Mighty Blow. And Claw Mighty Blow versus non-blocking Saurus, not good.
It's a bad day.
I have another Lizardman team too. I think it's an RNS Studio one that I still have in a bag somewhere.
Is that the Taxarly?
I don't know. I know I bought Jim. Jim was needing some money one time, so he sold me his awesome blue Lizardman.
Those are Mycos.
Mycos, okay. I got those. And the only reason why I bought them for Jim is one, Jim needed the money for something. I think it was his wife's anniversary or her birthday or something like that. I'm like, sure, dude, no problem. I'll buy them. I took Sibley right out of it, sold the team, and I stripped Sibley to add Sibley to my other
You made more
Lizardman.
money than what you paid for them, and you got Sibley.
No, I lost it. I lost money on the deal, but I figured Sibley was worth it. Because I ended up giving one of those GW cases that have the little like weave back and forth foam inside of it.
Weave foam. I don't know what those are.
It's a GW. It's wavy. It goes back and forth, so you can put larger models in, smaller models in. It made it so everything would fit in one foam tray.
Right.
It was their old, their newish. It was newer, but it's now crappy foam. Nobody ever likes it because it just falls apart.
Right.
Oh, then I'm glad I never bought it.
Oh, you are so happy you never bought it, Jim. But you know, I got it at Gen Con one year, and then I ended up just saying, all right, you can take it with the team. Fine, here, take it.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, the foam was not that. Oh, it was that bad. I mean, the paint job on these lizards are that's probably why Flynn cooked the freaking Games Day lizards, because he had those blue Mike ones still. Mycos. Those are fantastic. I don't know who Jim painted those, but those were fantastic.
I didn't paint him. Actually, I painted him.
Oh, no wonder, because that Croxagor's mouth, holy crap. You can see every vein, everything in it, man. I was like, I'm like, man, this is one of the best Lizardmen team I've ever seen. And I'm like, I'm selling it just because I didn't need them. I had so many Lizardmen.
It sounds like you've got quite a passion for some reptiles.
Well, let's see. Games Day Lizardmen cheerleaders. If you need some, I might know a guy that has several of them.
Would that be your schizophrenic self?
That'd be my. Okay, Jim may have not mentioned this, but I may have a Lizardmen team. It needs its own cheerleader. It needs its own Sibley. It needs its own, Morgenthorg. Everyone that's like, it's painted exactly to match the team, basic match the team. Therefore, when I get another one, I got to go get a new Morgenthorg. I got to go get a new Helmut Wolf. You know, the Phantom on the team. That's just the way. That's because that's the way I am.
Other people call it a sickness. Mark calls it the way he is.
That's right. That's right.
That's fair, though. That's all right.
I have such a